G'day foodies and welcome back to Matthew's Culinary Corner. Today I've got a very special recipe to share with you. This is one very close to my heart, or should I say my stomach, because it's my mum's famous lemon meringue tart, or lemon meringue pie as we say. And I know it's absolutely my dad's favourite too. Every time I make this, it brings back so many wonderful memories of my childhood. So let's get started. Right, I'm going to break this down into 3 phases. I mean, don't you just love baking? The first one is the pie crust, and remember you can use a pre-bought sweet crust or make your own, which is what we're going to do. It's very, very simple. The second is the gorgeous lemon filling, and the third is going to be the meringue. And for this meringue, we're going to use an Italian meringue, which is where you make a hot syrup first, and it sort of cooks beforehand. Yummy. Right, for the pastry, I've got 250 grams of plain flour. I've got a pinch of salt. I've got 125 grams of pretty cold butter, which is cut into blocks. I've got 2 free-range eggs, and I'm going to use the yolks for those, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And I've got a pinch of salt and a tablespoon of caster sugar. Great, so as I said, we're going to go through the same or similar process to baking the pie crust as we did in the quiche video, so check that one out. But we're going to add some sugar and some eggs, which is going to make it a lot richer. Okay, let's make the pastry. Now remember to preheat your oven. It's going to be about 170 degrees Celsius if you have a fan oven, or 340 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? Great. Now, to make the pastry, we're going to sift in the flour and the salt, just a pinch. Great. Now we're going to add in our sugar. We'll stir that around. Just mix it in. Then we're going to get to our butter. Notice it's in cubes to make it easier. It's a little cold so it doesn't melt. And here we go again. And there we have it, the consistency of breadcrumbs. Okay, now we're going to add in our egg yolks and a little bit of the cold water. You might not need it all, and we don't want to overwork it. So we're just trying to bind it together. So I'm going to use a knife. And there we have it. Right, now what I'm going to do, because we want it nice and cold for when we roll it out, is, and not too cold, right? So medium. I'm going to put it in some, you can use a bag like I did last time, or you can get some Glad wrap. And then I like to wrap it up, and then I like to make it into a disc. And then I put that disc in the fridge for about 10 minutes. Definitely a lot firmer. Just remember, if you have issues with bringing the dough together, if it's too dry, then just put a bit more water in. No problem. No big deal, as they say. No problemo. And we're going to roll this out to about 3 millimeters, not 3 centimeters. Yeah. in thickness and big enough for our pie plate. Okay. There we go, bigger than that. That's all we're looking for. And one technique is to actually bring the crust up on your rolling pin and then gently place it back down. Okay, wow, that actually worked pretty well, I gotta say. Very impressive, Matthew. Okay, and now we have our pie crust all ready for the oven. Now remember, no need to trim it for now because there is shrinkage and we want to keep it. We can always trim it later. Now I've got this little porcupiney little gadget and I just make my little holes in it. Again, just to let out the steam. They're not big enough whereby they won't cover up later, because they will. I get my tray, put it on there. Now I get my beans. I always put in some baking paper, which is always the same size, which I use often. And then put in the ceramic baking beans. We've got our oven going. It's cold, so we don't need anything to hold it. I'm going to open the oven door. Check it in. Lovely. And that's going to cook for about 20 to 25 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes? Let's see. Basically, the edges are going to be nice and brown. Okay? Okay, while we're waiting for the pie crust, I thought I'd just squeeze some lemons. We want about 150 mils. I'm going to zest the lemon. So I got a nice lemon here and just going to get the whole zest of one lemon. And we've got our zest. Okay, so I'm going to get the rest of the ingredients. So it's going to be 80 grams of unsalted butter, cut into some cubes. We've got our lemon juice, we've got our lemon zest. We're going to have 4 large egg yolks, and that's going to make our filling, along with the corn flour and the sugar. So to make the filling, we're going to combine the corn flour and the sugar in a saucepan. We're going to stir in the lemon juice with 300 mils of water, make that nice and smooth. Then we're going to bring it to the boil until the mixture actually thickens, and it goes quite quick. We're going to simmer that gently for 1 to 2 minutes. We're going to remove it from the heat, and immediately we're going to add our egg yolks. And then we're going to leave it to cool for a little. Once it's cooled, we're going to stir in the lemon zest and the butter. Where's my butter? We'll get there. And we're going to mix it until it's combined. Now the butter makes it nice and smooth and kind of rich. Then what we'll do is we're going to pour that into the pastry case and we're going to set it aside to cool completely. And the mixture should be smooth and thickened and nicely set. And then finally we're going to work on the meringue. Let's do it. Okay, we're going to put in our sugar, our corn flour, mix that together. Quickly mix that in with the lemon juice. Make sure there's no seeds in there. We're going to bring this to the boil. Okay, you can see it's nicely brown on the outside. So now we're going to just put it back in without the weights for about 5 to 8 minutes. Okay, let's try it this time. Lovely and brown. Now we're just going to let that cool, okay? Make sure there's no actual holes in it. We're going to let that cool. I'm going to trim it and then we're going to fill it. Okay, so let's get on with the filling. All right, so now we've got our nice lemon mixture. It's cooled a bit. We're going to put in the lemon zest. And to make it nice and smooth, we're going to put in the butter. And we're going to quickly stir that in. And now we're just going to pour it in. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Oh my goodness. That looks yummy. And in fact, you know, you could eat that now. I mean, not now, after it's cooled. And that would be a lemon tart. Okay? And you put that in the fridge and let it cool, let it chill. It'll make it nice and solid. And that would be a nice lemon tart. Oh, we've got a little lemon pip. But we're going to go one step further. We're actually going to make the meringue. So this is an Italian meringue. And what does that mean? Okay, there are many different types of meringue, Swiss, French, and Italian. Italian is when we boil the sugar with the water. We get it up to 120 degrees in our saucepan. And then we whip it or pour it into the whipped egg whites. Okay, so the meringue is actually cooked. So you can put the meringue on top of the pie. It's done. What we're going to do afterwards is we're going to be a bit splashy. You can either put it into the oven and put it under the grill, or use a gas torch, a blowtorch, and make it that way. Okay, so let's go through the ingredients. For the meringue, we've got 225 grams of caster sugar, we've got 75 mils of water, and we're going to have 3 egg whites. So, right, let's get going. Here's our pan, our sugar and our water. Bring that up to the boil. We've got our thermometer. As I said before, it's a candy thermometer or sugar thermometer. Just goes in here. It doesn't touch the bottom. That's the key. Just into the actual mix. And while this is boiling, when it gets up to 110 degrees, what we're going to do is we're actually going to start whipping using our electric beater and a whisk the egg whites, and so that by the time it gets to 120, they've got nice peaks, soft peaks, and then we'll pour in the sugar water and the sugar syrup, and that'll create the volume and the meringue. Okay, sounds exciting, eh? It's not complicated. You do it once and you'll never forget it. Okay, let's get going. Right, so we set up our egg whites. Make sure the bowl is very clean, okay? Put our egg whites in. Get our balloon whisk. Set it all up. Just do a quick test. Okay, great. Now we're going to get our pan. Got my thermometer in there. Add the sugar. Add the water. I've got it on just above medium, so just on high, and let's wait for it to boil. And once it gets to 110, which is just here, we will start whisking our eggs and getting ready to pour in the sugar syrup. So we're going to stir this until the sugar is actually dissolved. Okay, it's reaching 110, so let's turn on our Right, so now we've got our lovely whipped meringue. It's ready to put on our lemon tart. So let's take the tart out of the case carefully. And let's spoon the meringue. I like to use the back of the spoon, give it nice swirls. We're not going to take it all to the edge because it might slip off. And there is our lemon meringue pie. Now what I'm going to do, as I said, you can use a blowtorch. I have a blowtorch. I don't have any gas today. I'll get some. But otherwise, we can just put it in the oven very briefly under the grill. So let's see how that goes. And all we're looking for is that nice little brown effect. Okay, so remember the tart's cooked, it's already cooked, the meringue is already cooked, the eggs are cooked. That's the key. With other meringues, you actually have to cook it. Like when we do a pavlova, which is coming up, we'll actually cook the meringue. It's a different type of meringue, and they'll have to go in the oven. Okay? Great, so that was only about a minute or so in the oven, and it's just to caramelize the top, nothing more. You don't want to burn it, okay? And there you have it. It's my mum's lemon meringue pie, my dad's favorite. This pie is not only delicious, of course it's filled with love and memories. Lots and lots of memories. So I hope you give it a try and enjoy it as much as my family does. And I'm gonna have a sneaky piece now. Thanks for watching, everyone, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Matthew's Culinary Corner, where recipes meet memories. Yummy.